Good morning, everybody. It's 6:35 in the morning on August 11th, and we're headed towards the Mahoosuc Notch. Yeah, I mean, yesterday, wow, this goes straight up. Yesterday we didn't really get any mileage in. It was only about 5 miles or whatever it was. We got a late start, and the terrain was pretty difficult to where we got to full goose like 2 in the afternoon, and not knowing how hard the notch was going to be, and then also the Mahoosuc arm right after it. It's a whole bunch of pretty tough miles, and I don't know, we just both felt like we didn't really want to get started on that at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We thought it would be better to start fresh. So this morning we were up at 5:30 in the morning, had breakfast, got ready, and now we're going at this thing in the morning with the sun just coming up. So I feel better about it. I think when you're on the AT, it's important to make decisions that aren't always completely mileage based. Like when I was doing research for this hike, and a lot of people said, oh, you got to average 20 miles a day. So it's easy to get in this mindset of like, oh, 20 miles a day, so you got to do 20 miles a day. And you don't. You really don't. If you do 20 miles a day, if you have a time frame and you need to finish in 4 months, but if you have the time to do the hike the way you'd like to do it, sometimes you got to make decisions where you just hike less and relax a little more, because your body's going to need the rest. We got to camp yesterday at 2 in the afternoon. We laid all our stuff out to dry in the sun. We laid down and just let the sun kind of wash over us and warm the bones up, let the joints rest. It felt great. So you got to do those things in a thru hike, or you, in my opinion, that's where people drop out. They start to get tired. I'm tired. All my joints hurt. My knees hurt. From falling the other day, my hip hurts. Things start to wear out. But I think to be successful, sorry, I'm talking and climbing one-handed. I think to be successful, you got to take those days where you mellow off a little, and and we're in the last state, and Maine is gorgeous, and everyone says enjoy the beauty of Maine. So yesterday I was laying there, the sun was out, not a cloud in the sky, and it was just nice to enjoy the beauty, because Maine is absolutely gorgeous on a whole nother level. So anyway, still coming up this uphill. As you can see, we're still going up this way, and headed towards Mahoosuc Notch. I'll probably film a little when we're there, but you know me, I'm always afraid of getting hurt, so I probably won't have the thing out too much, but we'll film a little bit, and we'll talk to y'all in a little bit. Alright y'all, this is the beginning of the notch. We're gonna make our way through it. We might check in the middle, but I might just keep this phone away for safety. We'll check in on the other side. We're probably about halfway through the notch. They start to use arrows to show you which way to go, so we're going down. and through that hole, I believe. And I'm gonna turn the camera off so I don't hurt myself. Still in the middle of the notch. It's nice and cool down here because we're so low and there's pools of water. Water flowing down. It's cool to hear it like echoing through the rocks. Super cool. I think we're about halfway through it. We're still going forward. Hey guys. I'm climbing up the Mahoosuc Arm. And I would argue that it is a tougher mile of trail than the Notch. The Notch was fun. You know, it's tough, but it's bouldering. It basically, the Notch is slow moving, but, you know, and I can only speak for myself, but for me, it wasn't particularly tough. Like, you're not dripping sweat. Your heart's not, you know, pounding. It's, you know, it's tough to navigate, but it's bouldering. This thing is a straight up climb that also involves bouldering, but you're going at a, you know, 90-degree angle instead. So I would call this one tougher, but you know, that's the thing about the trail, is different people find different things tough. Me and Inside Out were talking about, they say it's the toughest mile of the AT. I would guess anyone that's through hiked has their own toughest mile, and it won't be the same as anyone else's. My toughest mile so far, I forget the name of the mountain even. It was just the climb up to the Audie Murphy Monument. It was raining that day and I was just fatigued for whatever reason. And that mountain, if I went back and hiked it now, it'd probably be a cinch. But at the time, that mountain was so difficult. It was like, I don't know, it just seemed to never end. And it was raining and it was just the toughest mountain. Inside Out said for her something called Floyd Mountain, which I don't even remember, but Floyd Mountain was her toughest. So anyone that's through hiked is probably gonna have their own toughest. I don't think the Notch was the toughest, but it's definitely slow going. This is slow going as well. We're gonna get to the top of this, maybe take a swim in Speck Pond, or just enjoy the view. Get down to the road, which is another like 2 to 3 miles of downhill, and then we're gonna either camp there or go up to Baldpate. We'll see, but we'll check back in. Hey y'all. Hey, I think I'm at the top of the Mahoosuc Arm, heading towards Speck Pond. Not sure why that camera's being jumpy like that. Anyway, gorgeous up here. Not a 360 view. We got trees here on one side, but Maine is sprawling out there. I don't know how many rows of mountains this thing picks up, but there's a lot of them. Gorgeous. Nice. And right near the top here, there's a white blaze. Right near the top here, looks like things are getting a little flatter. Man, that thing was up and it just kept going and going and going. That's crazy to climb, you know, for 20 minutes and look up and it's straight up and you can see so much more. And you climb another 20 minutes and you look up, it's straight up still. Just kept going and going and going and going. Got a cairn here. And looks like we come off through the trees this way. And over to the right. Technically, this is probably where I showed you that view back there is probably not technically the summit. Been on this trail long enough now to know that you come up to what seems like the highest spot, you start to go down, which makes you think, oh, we're going down. And then it's just like this little dip, and then you head up to higher. So we still may not be at the actual, you know, peak of whatever this is. But beautiful day. Again, I'm glad we made the decision we made to not push on too far yesterday because it was so nice to be able to come through the notch and now be coming up the arm and having, you know, just what feels like infinite time. Okay, this might be the top. Another gorgeous view. Oh, lakes out there. Rows and rows and rows of mountains as far as you can see. Man, something else. It is something else up here. Oh, I see a sign. Let's go down and check out that sign. We'll go down together and check it out. Maybe. This goes down. I'm gonna go slow. I'm always scared of hurting myself while I'm holding this camera, but I'm gonna go nice and slow. And we'll go down to that sign and see if it's a summit sign or what. Today's been a day of throwing the poles. Well, I'm gonna set you guys down for a minute. Hey, I'm too close to the end of this journey to be hurting myself because I'm trying to film something. Whew, okay, so this says May cutoff, Speck Pond Trail .3, and then Mahoosuc Trail, Appalachian Trail, Speck Pond Campsite, another .9. So we're heading off AT way. That's this way. I will check in with y'all probably at camp. I'll probably leave this thing off till we get to camp. We'll see. That's gorgeous. There's another one higher up. Hey everybody. I just thought this AT sign was really, really cool. So we started at Full Goose today and we ended up at Main 26, I believe is what the road is. So we met some people up on the mountain, some day hikers, who said, oh, when you get down to the road, if you want to ride into town. And we were debating, do we go into town, do we not go into town? Finally, the urge to, well, we both need to resupply a little bit of food and at Rite Aid. And then the urge to get a hot meal overtook us and we went into town. We had some really good food at a place called the Crossroads Diner. And they thought it was so cool we were thru hiking. I guess a lot of thru hikers don't necessarily go to that town. It's kind of far off. It was about a 20-minute drive or something. So we're going there and we're like, oh, look at this view, by the way. Beautiful. So we got into town, which is like half the battle because now you got hot food and you feel so much better. But we're like, how are we going to get back to the trail? Because it's kind of, you know, it's like 5 in the evening and we're really not sure how we're going to get back to the trail. This trailhead has a garbage can, so we're getting rid of garbage. That's what I'm doing right now. And this guy randomly comes up to us and says, are you guys thru hiking? We say yes. His name was Iowa. He thru hiked in the 90s. I think he said 1991. And he goes, well, man, I'd love to, I got so much trail magic when I was hiking. I'd love to take you guys back. And we're like, well, we still need to go to Rite Aid and we just got our food. He goes, no problem, I'll wait. I was just going to go home to hang out with my dogs. So it was like the craziest thing. Because we got a ride through some stroke of luck that somebody up on the mountain asked us if we wanted to go into town. And then some random guy at the restaurant we go to said he'd love to bring us back. And he sat there and waited for us to eat. And we just talked to him and about his hike, and he asked us about our hike, and it was really awesome. So, needless to say, absolutely loving Maine so far. It's beautiful. The people are like the friendliest so far on the trail, and it's freaking awesome. So thank you again to Iowa, which he said it's short for
Iowa stands for Idiot Out Walking About, which I thought was hilarious. So thank you to him. It really made our day just smooth and easy. Look. Yeah. Anyway, we're camping right over here off the road. And in the morning, we're going to tackle that climb. We did about 10 miles today, which we're fine with. Honestly, we're not counting miles. We knew the notch was going to be hard. We knew the Mahoosuc arm was going to be hard. And we got through both of those today because we were up super early. So anyway, camp's right over here. I'm going to flip this off and get some sleep. It's about 7:45. And onwards tomorrow.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, sorry about that. Well, I'm standing at, this is the sign to Baldpate Lean-To. It says it's 200 yards in. We started at the road, so it's been about 2.5 miles, I think, of uphill. So I'm already tired, and apparently there's a stream in there next to the lean-to. So I'm gonna dip in and refill some water. And then from here to the peak, it looks like it's an even steeper climb. Not as long, but much steeper. Still a long one, so it's not going to be an easy climb. Nothing is easy here in southern Maine, I'm finding. But I'm in good spirits, and I'm still loving this trail. At this point, it is a mental game. It really is, I could tell you that. I flew up this first couple miles up this hill physically, no problem. But this much hiking becomes, it's fun, but it's still a grind, you know, you gotta grind it out. So anyway, headed up that way after I head into the lean-to, probably sign the logbook and grab some water. Talk to y'all soon. Baldpate Mountain, West Peak, 3662. First actual summit sign I've seen in a while. Trail heads out that way. Just came up this way. Man, that climb's basically split into two parts, and I ran up the first part. It didn't seem that bad. I ran into the shelter, grabbed water. The second half was tough, but I will say, when you come up Baldpate, they have like stairs, you know, where you could tell they really constructed stairs out of rocks. And it was nice. So hats off big time to the people that built that section of trail, because all I did was hike up it, but I know what they did was a lot harder work than what I just did. And they really did a great job. I mean, they put stones at some points on the sides, so they almost looked like, you know, like guardrails kind of. And I mean, not like you put your hands on them, they're down like knee level, but just like barriers. And beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trail work. The building of that, it was very nice. So I believe from here we're going to do a little bit of a down, some flat, and then back up to the other peak, which would be the East Peak, I suppose. And then big down again to the road. Maine is tough. I've said it before. Oh man, a lot of people said you'll have amazing views from the top of this, but it's all just clouded in on both sides. So yep, we're gonna head up to the other peak, and then there's a big down back to the road again. Looks like we got more cairns, but there's some blazes too. I'll check in down at the road. Coming down the other side of the Baldpates, they've got a rope here just tied around, I guess to help the ladder not move, and then to help you get onto the ladder. It's a nice little thing. Throwing the poles down and going for it. Hey there. We're still coming down the peak of the Baldpates on the backside. There's a Blue Blaze trail here that says Fry Brook Trail to Cataracts. Not sure what I'm looking at. It's not in the guide, and the guide says that Fry Notch Lean-To is on trail, so I'm not sure what Fry Brook is, but I'm gonna hang here for a minute. Inside Out's right behind me. I want to make sure she doesn't go down that thinking, you know, when you have a word in your head like Fry, okay, we're going to Fry, and then you see this and you go, oh, I guess that's it. But this is something else. I don't know. So we're still going to keep going down that way, down the hill to the shelter, have lunch there and grab some more water. Hi everyone. Just came down off Baldpate. Nice long downhill, but not too steep. Just came down to the falls. Nice. Yeah, I know what you're saying. You're saying, hey Pit Boss, those don't look like falls. No, you're correct. I think the only way to get a shot actually might be to come up here, which is the way I first saw what I was looking at. Look at this. Rocks on both sides. I'm going to make sure not to fall. Yep, we're falling all down this way. It's gorgeous. And then they continue off down there. So, very nice. From here, it looks like it's a little bit of an uphill up to the road. Looks like we're going up there. I see a blaze on that tree. My camera's like jumping. Anyway, we're headed up there. Apparently 6 months of a camera getting dropped and wet and snowed on and rained on and whatever makes it act a little funny. Up to the road, gonna take another break there. And I think we're gonna push on. It's only 3 o'clock and you know, I'm definitely tired. These mountains are tough. So mileage wise, it's like thinking, oh well, we only went over over the Baldpate, you know, so that only gives us like 10 miles for the day. Honestly, that's probably a decent mileage because that climb is tough. We'll see. I don't know. I'll keep you guys posted. I'll check in soon.